Hey guys, it's Scott here and thank you for clicking this video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to play Pathfinder in Apex Legends Season 8. I'm going to cover Pathfinder's abilities in depth and the best way to use these to fully utilise him. Pathfinder is definitely one of the most fun legends to play due to his grapple abilities. Once you fully understand how to use his grapple properly and do certain movements with him, I'm sure you'll be swinging through all the maps on Apex as though Spider-Man himself has joined the Apex games. Pathfinder is great for getting in and out of situations fast and rotating your team around the map. As this video has been made in Season 8, any updates to Pathfinder that do come out after this, I will include in the pinned comment below. But as he's just had a recent buff, I don't think there was any planned changes for the minute. I've included timestamps in the video description below if there are any certain areas you would like to skip ahead to, and please feel free to check out more of my other legend guide videos by clicking on the screen now. So without further delay, let's get to it. Originally, Pathfinder was the only legend that could scan recon beacons, but as all recon legends now have this ability, Pathfinder's passive ability is called Insider Knowledge. Insider Knowledge means every time Pathfinder uses a survey beacon and scans for the next ring, the cooldown on his ultimate ability decreases by 10 seconds. You can only scan one beacon per ring, but this does mean if you scan 4 beacons in one game, the cooldown on his ultimate will be reduced from 120 seconds to 80 seconds, which is quite a considerable amount. As an added bonus, every time Pathfinder does scan a recon beacon, it also fully charges his ultimate ability, meaning you can save those ultimate accelerants for your teammates. Now this part of the guide video is going to be slightly different to what I normally do. Pathfinder has a bit more to him than just me explaining how and when to use his tactical ability. So I'm just going to cover some basic points about his grapple, and then we're going to hop into the firing range and cover some different grapple techniques with Pathfinder. It sounds a little odd, but Pathfinder has a certain feel to his grapple hook, and it's not something I can really teach, and it will require you to experiment with him yourself through trial and error. Pathfinder's tactical throws a grappling hook that will attach to the first solid object it hits and pull you towards it. This does include players, ziplines, Crypto's drone, Loba's black market, and even Watson's ult as well. The maximum length of the grapple hook is 21 meters, and you will notice there is a circle on Pathfinder's crosshair that turns blue to indicate when the surface you're pointing at is within grapple range and it will connect to. So keep your eye on that if you're still new to him. The cooldown length of the grapple varies based on the distance Pathfinder travels, and it stops increasing when Pathfinder's velocity returns to standard sprinter speed or after 5 seconds. It's whichever comes first. You can cancel Pathfinder's grapple at any time by hitting your tactical button again, and this will instantly disconnect it from the object. The grapple will also cancel if you get hit by Revenant's Silence. So now let's hop into the firing range and discuss some movement techniques to maximise Pathfinder's tactical ability. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the grapple jump. Now this is one of the more simpler things you can do with Pathfinder, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Now it's pretty straightforward, so we're just going to cover what will happen when you don't do this and what will happen when you do it. So all we're going to do is we're going to look in front of us and hit that grapple button. And you'll notice we just get pulled towards the spot we've connected with, which is great and all, but I mean, you don't get much from it. You don't get really that much of an increase in speed or height or anything like that. Now there's something we can do called a grapple jump, whereby it will give us more distance, velocity, and then obviously we can go from that into like a crouch or a bunny hop or whatever you feel comfortable with. So the thing what we're going to do is we're going to hit that tactical button, and when our grapple connects, we're going to hit the jump button as well. And you'll see exactly what happens. We get much more height and we kind of arc over because we're going over the kind of pivot point essentially. So we're going to hit that tack button, then hit that grapple button, and you'll see just the difference that makes to the jump. Now the thing to remember here is we can't actually go too far forward. If you go too far forward with your grapple, you won't actually get the right kind of momentum with it, and it'll just drag you towards a grapple. So make sure you're not aiming at too far a distance. So I'm just going to run into it. I'm going to start running, I'm going to hit my attack button, and then I'm going to jump, and you can see exactly what will happen. So we get a huge increase in distance and velocity as well. And it's a really simple thing you can do, and it just helps if you're trying to move around the map faster or rotate a little quicker. But the thing you can do with this is use it on enemies as well. And of course, we'll use the Botman over here to show exactly what I mean. So let's just grab let's maybe not grab a sniper. Let's grab a Vault real quick. And I'll show you exactly what'll happen. So we're gonna grapple jump over the top. Again, we're gonna hit that tactical button and press X as soon as that grapple connects. And like I said before, there's just a feel with Pathfinder, so do practice this for yourself in the firing range. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grapple over the bot and then turn 180. So we get like a 180 grapple jump essentially, and it's a good way to just kind of throw your enemies out. So again, I'm gonna hit the tactical jump and turn 180. And then because I hit my L1 button again, I did disconnect my grapple there. So you will have noticed I hit that again. So if I don't disconnect that and I keep my grapple in my field of view, it'll keep connected essentially. So that's when the disconnecting button comes in. So if I don't disconnect this time, you'll see the difference. So it kind of holds us on a lot longer, which is, you might want it, but you might not. But that's a thing to remember, and we'll cover that in a little second. So let me just show you that again. So I'm going to hit that attack button, jump, and then 180. And disconnect. And then you're over the top of your enemy, and you can surprise them from the back and hopefully throw them out with some movement. Now, the next movement I'm going to teach you will be like a bit of a side swing and kind of like a strafe, but how we'll do it is we'll get a lot of distance across where we need to go, and it gives us a lot of momentum as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this zipline as a target, and then as this connects with the zipline, we're going to turn to look about 60 degrees. If you look more than like 90 degrees, I believe the grapple disconnects. I think it's 90 degrees, but if you keep it in like 60 range, you'll be absolutely fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to mimic the movement of the grapple, and essentially we're pulling ourselves away from the pivot point and swinging around it to get like a maximum travel distance. So what I'm going to do is with my right stick, it's going to arc out this way and then up and over like that. And that's going to be my right stick, but my left stick is also going to mimic this. So I'm going to pull out to the right, and then I'm going to swing around like that as I'm moving. It's kind of like a strafe essentially. So if you know about strafe jumping and stuff like that, it's the same kind of movement. So these two are going to mimic, and I'm going to look out and spin around like that off the grapple when it connects. Okay, so let's give that a go real quick. So we're going to connect that, and then we're going to swing out. So see the turn, and then we swing over the top, and then we go absolutely flying to where we need to be. And of course, you can do this on any object as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be above you. You can do it on these rocks, for instance. So you'll notice my grapple distance there, because it was quite far. It had the maximum cooldown. So I'm just going to switch that out real quick. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the right-hand side once more. And this time, I'm just going to show you it on the rock instead. So we get that huge travel distance. And like I said, you can do this on any object. Okay, so this time we're going to do the exact same thing, but on the left stick. Now, it's the exact same movement, except it's just mirrored. So we're going to turn left and then over like that. Sorry, that was way too much. We're going to turn left and then over like that, just like we did, but mirrored. And then with the left movement stick, again, we're going to arc round from the left-hand side all the way down to the right. Again, it's that strafing movement, but you'll generally probably prefer either side. Like, I have a preference to do things on my right side. I'm not sure why, but it's good to practice both in either case. So it's the exact same movement. We're going to hit that grapple button, and then we're going to swing out with both sticks and then arc over the zip line and hopefully land down there. So I'm going to connect, turn, and swing all the way over the top. And then we're landing as intended where we needed to go. And it's just to show you that you can do that on both sides, and it's the exact same movement, but it's mirrored. Okay, so the next technique I'm going to show you is like an up and under type situation. So imagine there's an enemy here and we can get kind of over them and get the high ground on them using Pathfinder and his grapple ability. So it's very similar to the side swing, only this time it's kind of front facing. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect our grapple above us, and then we're going to pull down to again pull us away from that like pivot. Is it in the movement arm? I was never that good at physics. I think it's like the movement arm is the technical term. But we're going to pull ourselves away from it. So I'm going to pull my look button down. As I'm doing that, I'm still going to push forward my left thumbstick. So we're still moving forward, but we're going to look down, move forward, and then as we kind of come up, we're just going to do a 180. But we're still going to hold this pushing forward. Okay, so we're gonna grapple, we're going to pull down, swing over, and 180. And you'll see exactly how far we get. Grapple, pull down, and then up and over like that. And then obviously you're on the high ground and you can take down your enemy as you wish. So you'll notice that I did look down there, and that just pulls us away from that grapple that little bit more. So if you don't want to go as far, you don't have to look down. So if I don't look down this time and just kind of look forward, it'll just pull us up to this podium here rather than taking us that extra bit up with the extra velocity. So if I don't look down this time, you'll see the difference. So this time, obviously, it's not pulled us as far out, so it doesn't get as high, but it's good to know that you can do both in case you're kind of cutting it close to the edge of that map, or you don't actually need to go that high and you just want to get one floor up. Okay, so this one's just a bit of fun, and you can really use it to throw out your enemies if you find kind of like the right object to do it on. So as I mentioned, you can attach like Loba's Black Market and Crypto's Drone and that kind of thing. The thing I want to show you is if you keep your zipline in your kind of like field of view and don't disconnect it, you can kind of just keep spinning around on it until obviously Pathfinder's momentum drops and you hit the ground. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grapple jump on this black market and just kind of like keep swinging around, and you'll see kind of what happens. So I'm going to keep strafing around and trying to keep that in like my field of view. And we can just keep kind of like swinging round until the grapple breaks. It's a weird thing, but I mean, it's good to know. You might be able to throw some enemies out with it if you really want to try it. But I just thought it was kind of cool to put in there. A lot of effort does go into these guide videos, so if you are enjoying the video, please do give it a like. I would really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments below which legend you would like to see next. Please feel free to check out more of my other Apex content and guide videos, and if you do enjoy those, please do consider subscribing. I would really appreciate the support. If you are interested, my socials are in the description, so check those out if you want to join me live on Twitch or follow me on Twitter. Pathfinder's ultimate is the zipline gun. As previously mentioned, this does have a cooldown of 120 seconds, but can be reduced to 80 seconds through his passive ability. The zipline gun creates a zipline between your current location and target location, which anybody can use, even your enemies. The maximum length of the zipline is 100 meters, and up to 4 ziplines can be active on the map at once, meaning they will stay around for other teams to use, so do keep an eye out behind you for anyone who might be coming your way. Pathfinder's ultimate allows you and your team to get up to high ground, position quickly, and back out or push into fights, and can also be used to move quickly around the map, when the ring is moving in for instance. The zipline can attach to most surfaces around the map, however certain structures cannot be used. As the zipline does follow a straight line, it does mean you are an easy target, so try not to push an enemy squad who can easily pick you off. If you think you might need a quick escape route, simply use your zipline. Although you might not need to use it, having it there just in case is pretty reassuring. Now that Pathfinder's low profile has been removed, he has once again become a very viable legend, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him. Often called the fridge due to his large hitbox, the removal of low profile evens out the playing field. Honestly, I think Pathfinder is one of the most fun legends to play in Apex due to his grapple ability. He can also be a great movement legend to have on your team, providing you need one. I would highly recommend you play around with Pathfinder's grapple in the firing range and try out the techniques I've gone through to get the hang of how to use him before heading into a game. That's my ultimate guide to playing Pathfinder in Apex Legends. Experiment with Pathfinder yourself and go over any tips you may need to again. I hope this guide helped you out or taught you something new, and if you do have any questions, be sure to pop them in the comments below. But for now, thank you for watching and I hope to see you next time.